Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today is the first flight simulator video that I will be posting on my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to start up the Airbus A320NEO in the Microsoft Flight Simulator. I've never posted a flight simulator video before, and I kind of want to start posting them. I've been playing Flight Simulator for basically since it came out, so I want to start posting more videos on it, and if you guys like the content, just like it, and maybe comment and say you want more content like this, like VATSIM videos or something like that. Just something interesting of that matter. So without further ado, we'll get the aircraft all started up. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go, obviously, into the cockpit. Not that. Go to the overhead panel and turn on both of the batteries. And then you can see that'll give power to the aircraft. And then you want to turn on external power. And then get your nav lights. And then you can turn on the fuel pumps. So now we're in the basic stage of the aircraft, just sitting on the ground currently, with external power, just battery on, and everything. So as you can see, or as you can hear, outside of the aircraft, we do have power running. So, let me change this really quickly. Just gotta change my settings. There we go. Alright, sorry about that. Anyway, next thing you would want to do is you'd want to set up the MCDU in the aircraft. So this is kind of teach you how to do it. It's pretty quick and easy, especially in the default aircraft. I mean, it's easy in the like a fly-by-wire A320. I don't know about the Phoenix because I don't have the Phoenix, but I'm just going to show you how to do it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go to the initialization page, or the init page. You're going to see from/2. So we're on the ground at Seattle, so I'll put the ICAO code in there, KSEA, and then we're gonna, let's just say we're gonna go down to Portland. So we'll go KPDX, and then we're just gonna press on the soft key up here, and then it'll process. It'll take a minute to process, or a couple seconds, and then there you go. You can go return. So now it has a plan filed. So it has just a direct flight plan. So you can also just like, oops. You can just, can't start the written. Okay. And you kind of just see that it's just a straight line to Portland. So there's no waypoints or anything like that. It's just a straight line, and it'll take you all the way down to Portland. So now you can go to the flight plan page, which we're already in. Or, well, first of all, you're going to set in your cruising altitude. So I'll just 17,000, that's what I usually do for Portland, or Seattle to Portland. And then cost index, we'll just say it's 5 today. And then now, this page is all set up. You could put in your alternate route, so your alternate airport, just whatever you need to do, your flight number, you name it. We go to the flight plan page. We can go from SEA. Then we'll do here, and then we'll do the departure, and we'll say we're taking off runway 16 left. Alright, and then it'll give you a whole bunch of SIDs, so standard instrument departures. These are just like, these will give you waypoints and different SIDs to go by. So the correct SID to go down to Portland, if we're taking off the 16s, is the Seattle 8 departure. Use that. There's no transition on this departure. We can go insert, and then we don't have any fixes or waypoints in between, so we'll just do Portland. We'll do the arrivals, and then you select your arrival runway, so we'll just do 10 left. Now it gives you a whole bunch of stars. So your standard arrival procedures or whatever. The correct arrival to use for Seattle to Portland or just anything is the Crater 2. And then we'll use no vias today. That's just a via, so you don't have any like weird turns or whatever in between, or on your arrival, not in between, but just on your arrival. I've had an experience. Once you get more in depth with the MCDU, I'll make a video with using SimBrief and kind of figuring everything out with the MCDU. Then your transition, you could select Buzo, which is the correct transition, and then you're going to go Insert. So now you have your flight plan filed, and then you can also step through the flight plan as well. So you can go to Plan up here, and then just use the soft key, and you can see it's got a flight plan set up for us. So works nicely. It's pretty cool to be able to do that. Next thing you're going to do is use the performance page. So commonly what I use is for my V1 I use 140. So I'll put that in there, and then I use 145 as VR, and then 150 as my V2. I mean, there's ways to calculate it. Here, I'll quickly show you. You go to there's this performance calculator for Airbus. You can just calculate it in here, so you can go this, put your weight in, your CG, and then just everything. I'm not going to do it now, and then use flaps 1. And now you have your MCDU all set up. So your MCDU is ready for departure. All of these you really can worry about when you're more in depth of it. And a lot of these pages, they don't really work on like, let's say the default A320. It doesn't really work. They don't actually work at all. Can't go to them. So yeah, they don't work. So you don't have to worry about these. Really the only things you have to worry about is direct to. So if you're flying on VATSIM, you need to go direct to a waypoint, you can do this. And then you just click on the waypoint and it'll put temporary direct. Like I said, we'll do a complete video of the MCDU sometime, and then you can do progress and just do whatever there. Performance, we already went through that. You're in it. This is the first thing you're gonna do. Data, it's all the data of your IRS, GPS, position, just everything in there. And then flight plan is how you set up the flight plan. And then the radio navigation is for your ILS of, like, say you're flying an ILS approach into an airport. It's got your ILS frequency. If it's not in there and it looks like this, like what just the box, you can look it up on the web and it'll give you an ILS frequency for the runway. Alright, back to what we're actually doing. Now that we have this all set up, we can go ahead and start up the APU as we're getting ready for engine start. And while you wait for the APU to go available, you can start up the APU starter. So APU master and then the starter. Once you wait for this to go available, you can kind of hear it fire up in the background. Okay. You can also set up your autopilot. So we'll set our autopilot for our cruising altitude 17,000, or if you're flying on VATSIM or you're using the ATC, you set it up as your initial flight level given. So you'd set it at 6,000 or just whatever they give you. Now we can set up our speed in knots. Oops. Okay, sorry. It's a little weird sometimes. Okay. You just set it up for like 220 or like 240, 250, or whatever you want to set it up as. Now that the APU is available, you can see the green light is flashing, or not flashing, but it's illuminated. You can turn on the APU bleed, which will be right up here. You can hear the bleed fire up. Now that you have the APU going, you can disconnect from your ground power or external power. You can turn it off. Notice how none of the systems will shut down because the APU is on. So now you're using up fuel. So now that that is ready to go, we are ready for pushback. So we can just get our lights. These, just turn these off. I usually just do this so they're off and ready to go once you're short of the runway. You can put your strobe lights to auto so you don't have to worry about them. And now you can turn your flight director on. Now we're ready for pushback. So I will call up ground and ground services, and I will request pushback. So you can see I don't have sounds up because I fly on VATSIM, so whenever I switch over to ATIS frequency, you have both of them and it's kind of hard to hear. So now the next thing you want to do, you want to go to the center pedestal. I'll set this really quickly. There we go. And you want to go to the engine mode in between the two engine masters, which is how you start up the engine. You can turn off my parking brake as well, so you just turn it off. Engine mode can go to ignition start, so just flick it to the right. And you'll see that, no, not yet. And then you can turn on engine 1 or 2. Usually you start up engine 2 first. And now you can see the N2 is rising up, and soon you will see the engine start to rise up. And you can see engine 2 is starting. And I'll just do tail right here. I mean, not a big deal what we do. Also, do not forget your beacon light, so your ground workers, forgot about that. So your ground crew does not get sucked in the engine, or they're aware that the engines are starting. So you can see engine 2 starting up. You can just kind of monitor it as you watch this rise up. So request pushback stop. There we go. Okay, there we go. So now you can hear the PTU start up. That means the engine, their first engine is started up completely, and it's ready to go. So now you can start up engine 1, or engine 2, it's whatever at your choice. You can see it's rising up. So really all you have to do is just repeat the process for both engines. And we'll just watch engine 1 slowly rise up. So everything's working fine. It'll take a second for this to come up. Don't worry about it. Just watch this, and then eventually once enough fuel gets in, this will start up. So now we're at 15. Okay, so engine 1 just finishing up now. And there we go. So engine 1 completely started up. Both engines are stable. We can go back down to the ignition mode or engine mode, and you can turn it back to normal. So now the engines will, I mean, they're normal. So they're running normally. Perfect. Now what you want to do, you can go ahead and turn off the APU. Because the engines are running, you can turn off the APU. Perfect. Alright, so now you're just about ready for taxi. Now what you want to do is you want to set the flaps to 1 or whatever you need your flap settings to. So you can set them to 1, 2, or just basically really it depends on the runway length. So now that I have it set to flaps 1, that's what I have set in the performance. So on the outside, you can see everything is working just fine. So flaps are set to 1, and you can turn on the taxi light, and that is how you start up an Airbus A320NEO. So everything is working perfectly, and you are ready to fly your Airbus A320NEO. So if you guys did enjoy this video, thank you for watching, and if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like and comment if you would like to see more Microsoft Flight Simulator content. And yeah, just let me know what you guys want to see next. I would really appreciate if you guys did let me know. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video.